Okay, we are here now on the second part of the video where we are going to try to use the all-in-one WP migration. So what we should do now, or what I should do now, is go to export and click on export to file, only because this is an, I don't have the premium version of the plugin. This is just the free version, and it's going to prepare to export. It's archiving 25 content files, now media files, 13828 plugin files, 91% complete, and done archiving database. Okay, so now the challenge here is that the size of this is about 2 GB, right? Well, the challenge, why I say it's a challenge, is because I can easily download this 2 GB file. However, uploading it back from the UI is going to be a challenge, only because hosting companies usually put a limit on how much you can upload. So we would probably have to do it from the back end. Nevertheless, and I don't want to even try to do it from the, I think I will do that just to show my feed experience, and then we will upload it from the back end, and we try to do that. So let me go ahead and pause while I download this, and I'll be right back. Okay, the file has been downloaded onto my local machine. Now let's go into the lp.silvercode.com and then try to import. I'm going to quickly see the maximum upload file size is 256 MB, right? And then obviously there is an article on how to do that. However, because of the nature of this recording, and I just don't want to go into the lengths to go ahead and try to change the size and do all sorts of things, what I will just do is I will try to upload it from the back end. Now here's that one thing. This file is obviously somewhere on our server under the silvercode.com directory. So I might as well go here. Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me clear the screen. So this is where I am right now. And if I do ls-l, I see there is a www. And underneath that, obviously, there are 3 different subdirectory representing all the 3 sites that I have under Silvercode. So I know the file over here is located somewhere inside Silvercode. Okay, and I also know it's somewhere under public HTML. Okay, we can go into public HTML, or the other thing I can do is I can just do find./name, and I paste the file name and hit enter. There we go. This is where the file is located. So I go into this folder, and sorry, typo. There we go. There it is. This is the file. So the other thing we can do now, okay, is given this is where this file is residing. So if I were to copy the same file, in the same folder structure for lp.silvercode.com, I'm pretty sure it's going to show up. So let's try that. Then we are going to do this. And then we're going to do lp.silvercode.com, and then we're going to do copy this, hit tab and hit enter. Oh, sorry. And then we are going to do obviously I made a mistake here. CP copy the file name. And this is my source. And just for it's -p to preserve the file permissions, just in case the permissions get set incorrectly or something different. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, there we go. Now let's go into copy, paste, A1i backups. There we go. It copied it over now. Excuse me. Now if I were to go here, all in one, there you go. The backup shows up here, right? It's this backup. It's the same as this backup. And obviously the date, it says 9 minutes is because we copied over with the -p option in the backend, which means it preserved the timestamp and the permissions. Now, okay, cool. This is here. I can now see lp.silvercode.com. I can click on restore. Oh. Okay, so it's a paid extension feature. You could also download the backup and then use import from file. So now again, we know to import it, we have a limit. So let's try to open it up and find out how can we increase the limit. Let me read through it and then I will be right back. So I read this. It seems like I can change these values, and it will allow me to upload change the values in .htaccess file, and it will allow me to upload it. So let's try that. So here it is. What I did is I came to lp.silvercode.com and did let me clear this window. Find, and so the file name that I need to modify is over here. So but before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a backup just in case. And again, it's always a good idea to make a backup of any files that you modify. Sorry. Should be 23, not that it matters, but let's make changes. That seems like an empty file. Why is that? Very interesting. Let's go to .public cat.htaccess. There is something there. Okay, and now let's go into cdwp content, the file that I was trying to make backup, and then do cat.htaccess. Okay, so this is SGS problem in SiteGround something. They did the hardening. So I would think this is where we need to make backups. Okay, let's make backup of .htaccess. There we go. We have our backup .htaccess, and then XMS disable service. Let's copy. Okay, and then just to see if this is working or not, we will do 1 point. It's not exactly what we are looking for, but I do want to make sure. I think this is not going to work because I think we get only 512 megs of RAM. Execution time. Okay, let's see. If we do that, or okay, now let's go into our import. So see how this number changed to 1 GB, but our backup is about 2 GB. So we're going to change the number again. So this should be so let's change it to 2000 megabytes. Again, I'm using VI. I'm used to it. If you're not familiar with VI, you'd probably have to download it through your file manager and then upload it back in. But that's outside the scope of this video. There we go. Let's change it to 2 GB. And now let's do import from file. Let me pause the recording. Let me select the file and let's see what happens. Okay, I selected the file. I'm trying to upload. Let's see what happens. I'm not even sure even if this will work, and time will tell. So I'm gonna pause it until I'm getting an error message or it completes. Folks, I don't think this is gonna work. I've been waiting a few minutes here, and it seems like it's not uploading my 2 gigabytes worth of backup. So we need to find an alternative now. One thing I want to do is, obviously I didn't take any backup or snapshot of a blank website or a out of the box website, just to see how this thing works, which is how the all-in-one WP backup works. So let's do one thing. I can actually do two things. Number one is I can go drop off this website completely from SiteGround and recreate it very quickly, or I could actually spin up the instance in AWS LightSail and then use all-in-one backup and kind of reload it here and see what happens. Okay, so, and I'm gonna do that. Instead of dropping this site in SiteGround, which I can easily do, I could actually go here and delete application and then create a new instance and just bring in a basic instance. But what I want to do is, like I was saying, is I already have the lp.silvercard.com that looks a lot like this website, which is the main website. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to LightSail, create a new instance. There you go. Nothing is going to change. I think I'm going to take this one to CPU, and again I'm going to call it lp.silvercard.com just for, or maybe just call it test, who cares. Test one, create instance. And this is one thing I really like about AWS, like, it spins up an instance just like that. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to pause this, let this fire up, and I'm going to walk you through as to what I'm testing here. Okay, I want to test how good is this all-in-one backup software is, or backup and restore software is, and then we're going to go from there. A few minutes, so let's connect to our newly created WordPress instance. And let's see, yep, it's up. And let's go to admin. Now I also know that Bitnami instances always have the username user. Let's look into the cat Bitnami credentials. Okay, and here's the password. Let me copy this up. See how the password changed. Also, I deleted that old instance. I created a new instance, so password is going to change. The IP address has changed, but hey, this is just a test of the backup solutions, not everything else. So now let's go into installed plugins, And what we are testing is how good is this all-in-one WP migration. Obviously, migrating our existing site from Silvercode to lp.silvercode.com didn't really work because of the package size was 2 gigabytes. That's massive. I mean, so but let's try with a stock, instance where I guess the backup size is going to be a lot smaller and we can test it out. So I'm going to click on activate. I don't need all this, that comes default. So I need to go here and go to export to file, and it's going to export. So let's do that. That's pretty fast. Obviously it's a, again, stock or out of the box thing, and it's 185 megabytes. I'm going to click on download. I'm going to quickly pause just so that, I can download it into my system without having to, show you the file system. Only because I'm doing it because so that in post edit I don't have to go and work to blur all the confidential information that I have on my machine. Other than that, I would have really shown it. Okay, the file has been downloaded to my machine and it starts with the number 44202 blah blah blah. Okay, so now we've been stuck here for quite a bit. I mean, at least like last 20 minutes, and it hasn't even moved 0%. So we know this is not going to work for some reason whatsoever, whether it's like the package size being too big, whether for the software itself, or maybe it's because it's a free version. I haven't purchased the premium version, or maybe because something with the SiteGround host. And getting to it is not really going to help me. And I wanted to really test out all-in-one WP migration. So let's go there and let's stop it. And it's still set to 2 GB. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to import a smaller package, which is what was created from this thing, right? So I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on file, and obviously it's going to open up the window. So let me pause here, select the file, and then I'm going to talk and walk you through the rest. So there are two packages. Obviously this is the first one, which is about 2 gigs, which we tried to upload, and this is the main from SiteGround that didn't, or silvercode.com site at SiteGround didn't really work. So we created this one package which is about 185 megs or 193 megs, and it's from 44202 9.161, which is the AWS LightSail here. Right, and it's uploading. See how fast it's moving compared to what we had when we tried to import the original package. It just didn't happen. It just sat there. But it is what it is, right? So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video again while it finishes the upload, because watching this number is not going to really help you, and it's just going to make the video longer. Okay, it finished uploading, and now it's warning me the import process will overwrite your website, including the database, media, plugin, and themes. Please ensure that you have a backup of your data before proceeding to the next step. Click on proceed, and it's doing its magic, and we shall see how good it is. Oh, I do not know what this is all about. Let's see. Review the plugin, or it's asking me to file a review. Okay. Save permalink structure. I do not know what that is. Well, let's log in again here. Okay. And then we shall click on again. It's asking me to save some of this. Anyway, I don't want to. If it's a backup and restore, I don't have to do anything. That's my point of view, but we shall see. Okay, let's see. It seems like it did its magic. Yeah. Oh, take a look at this. It's a restore. Remember how when we first started trying to upload the 2 gigabyte worth of backup from this website, and obviously the default at SiteGround was 256 MB, and we changed it manually. Seems like that change still remained even after we restored it from the backup of this website, which is in AWS LightSail. So that's a big red flag for me. Usually when you say a backup and a restore, it should wipe out everything, all configurations, and then bring this back in. But hey, it is what it is, right? So that's one red flag, and I would think, a backup solution should be able to, if you're saying, hey, I'm going to restore it and I'm going to wipe everything out, why would the change be here? Let's look at install plugins. Wow, look at it. Now I have 18 plugins here, right? And in this page, obviously 31. Now I don't expect here to be 31 because this site had 9 or so plugins, and then obviously we did a restore from this site, and it had 10. So the 10 from here, which obviously one of them being the 10, and this site had all-in-one migration plugin, and this one already had that. So obviously, and so what it did, in my opinion, was it kept the plugin that were already there, and then it added the plugins from the restore. So it's usually, so what that basically tells me, all-in-one does not really wipe out the existing plugins, database, and everything. It just adds more to it. I mean, that's not a backup restore solution. That's like backup an add-on, right? And that's where I think the plugin fails, in my opinion. And if it does what it does, it should be basically very clear. Hey, we don't clean out your database properly, or we don't really clean out your WP content / uploads directory, and we're going to go from there. But it's because now you see you have a lot more plugins. And this is, to me, it's not really I mean, if you were taking a backup of this website, which is the one in AWS LightSail, and you want to start off with a blank website, that's fine. But I just didn't expect that. I mean, again, most of the reviews you see online on YouTube are not going to talk about the nitty-gritty details. They're going to be like telling you, hey, buy this plugin. These are the 5 best plugins. These are all clickbaity, catchy things to get you to realize why you should buy this plugin. And sometimes they're like affiliates. Of course, if they're affiliates, they're gonna keep on pushing this plugin. But again, we don't have any dog in this fight. We just want to I just want to find a really good plugin that does what it says it's do, which is, if you take a snapshot of my website, again, look, in system administrator, when I take a snapshot of a website and I revert back to that image, it doesn't it reverts back to what it was. If you look at VMware and you do VMware snapshots, that's how it works. I take a backup, I restore it, it is exactly what it was in that particular point in time, nothing else. Unfortunately, I don't think that's what happened here. Let's look at the library. The library looks fine because it definitely cleaned up the library. So I would say, why did it not clean up the plugins directory? That just baffles me. Posts, only hello world, so it cleaned up the posts as well, which means it did a pretty good job. All users, let's see, it has only one user, username, last name, so it did a good job on users. Again, that's driven by database, so it probably did a very good job. Again, the date and time is 2/23, 9/21 at 3:19 p.m. This is here. Let's look at user last name, user example, role, posts 1. See, it's a little bit, view is different, not that it really matters, but see, author, uncategorized tags. Oh, sorry, I am confusing the two. Let's go to post. Yep, the dates and times are all the same. So cool. So in my opinion, it is what it is. Now, the other thing I want to take a look at it is what is inside this backup package. So if I go to this backups, I know the name of the file is this. So that means this file exists somewhere on my machine. So if I were to go here and log into this console, okay, and then go to, I believe it's Bitnami. Yep, there it is, WordPress. And then WP content, and then do a find.name. Let's see. There you go. It's in AWS. Okay. Because I'm interested. Why is it 193 whatever? So let's do 44. That's the file name. So it looks like it's a JSON package with site name, everything. The content of this package and the way the code shows up tells me what it does is it just does a straight copy. Now, if you were to ask me, they could have really optimized this by doing this backup. And before I say what I want to say, yep, there you go. So it's basically what, in my opinion, knowing a little bit about a thing or two about coding and what I see in the package itself, is that it's really, it reads through this WP structure, WP content structure. It reads through it and it just like pipes it into a file, text file, and ends it with a .wpress extension, which is basically it's a text file. If not, why would you be able to see it? Well, text file with package, JSON package, with like JSON curly bracket. At the end of the day, it's just a text file. And it doesn't do any kind of compression. So I wish it would have done something like zip. It could have done similarly zip. Let's just call it text.zip. No, never mind. What is it called? Let's see. Man, zip. So zip -b zip file, fileless, zip cloak. So it could have done a zipping. Looking at it, what I should have done is zip. Let's just call it test.zip and then 44. Okay. It's permission denied. So sudo, I think it's because of the file permission on that folder. There you go. So now it's adding. Here you go. See, it's doing it. Deflated by 70%. So just to show you that this 195 megabytes of file has been compressed and it's now 57 megs. Right. So there are ways for this the all-in-one package to be obviously more efficient. I'm not the developer, but I would think, and if they would zip it, number one, obviously it's smaller in package, it's easier to download, it's easier to re-upload, and of course saves a lot of bandwidth, saves a lot of time, and obviously we don't hit into that upper limit of the how would I say, of the hosts that sometimes they put up in there. As you saw, we had to do right over here. Right, we had to manually change the it from 256 to 2 GB. So now, obviously, if it was compressed down from say 2 GB to, if 70% is going to be for 1 GB, 70% is 10% is 300 megs, so 600 megs. 600 megs is a lot easier, smaller file to move and upload and download than it is 2 GB. Saves a lot of time, a lot of processing power and things like that. Nevertheless, I cannot give a thumbs up to either all-in-one migration tool just because of the way it does it. And if you have to use it, I would say make sure that there will be some add-ons. You probably want to clean up everything and then upload it, and maybe that will work, and it's easier because if you're not technical, you want to do it that way. But if you have two sites where you made some changes in the first one and then you take it to the second one and you add more stuff, and in the meantime your first one changed a little bit, you are in for a surprise, is what I would say. And it might be a while before you figure it out, and by then it's too late, right? How would you manage all these things? And that's the thing that really bothers me about the WordPress stuff, is like there is no checks and balance. Anyone can create a plugin and put it up there, and like a lot of people do not know what they do not know, and they just end up using it, giving it 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars. Not that I have anything against the Prime Mover plugin, or as in the word all-in-one. It's just that people fall for those stars and then go and start using it, and it's too late by the time they realize, oh shit, we have this backup and it's not really working out. Okay, with that folks, that's it. Maybe in part 3 I will show you how we do the backup manually and make sure everything is hunky-dory. Okay, until then, take care, bye-bye.